2026 is going to be an awesome year. We got some pretty cool stuff coming up. First off, we got Foundations of Recovery. This is our flagship program. We're starting it in January.
This is for anyone, man, woman, or couple who wants to come and reclaim their heart from shame, trauma, and betrayal. We start off with an education on all sorts of principles, give you the common language. We feed you from a fire hose in terms of all things recovery.
It is such a great start to recovery. And we get at the roots of things, Tyler. This isn't like any other program. Like, this is our healing journey in process, and Foundations is where we begin.
If you look at the value that you're getting there to kick off a good recovery with all of the right education, all of the right language, and a team to get you started while also being directed by Brannon and myself through the whole process, what a deal.
So if you're interested, if you're struggling, if you've been wanting to do something for a long time, jump into this. This only comes around every so often, and we would love to have you there.
Click the link in the description to sign up for it. And to make it even sweeter, we're also including a raffle for a free pass to the Radiant Dawn retreat. Anyone who signs up for Foundations will be added to the raffle for that free Radiant Dawn pass. If you're a man and you sign up for Foundations, your name still gets entered, and you can give that pass away if you win it to any woman that you want to.
So what you're saying, Tyler, is if you sign up and participate in Foundations, you could possibly go to Radiant Dawn for free?
That's exactly what I'm saying, which is crazy because Foundations by itself is already an insane value.
Man, I sound so salesy. But it actually is awesome. So come to Foundations. And even if you don't come to Foundations, sign up for Radiant Dawn. It's beyond therapy, the best healing experiences that you can have.
Click the link below and come join us. Exciting changes and opportunities for recovery. Welcome to the Therapy Brothers podcast.
I'm Brannon.
I'm Tyler.
We're brothers.
We're therapists.
And we know recovery.
Bring your stories, your questions, your successes with real recovery.
Hey, Tyler, you ready to have some hard conversations?
Let's do it.
Let the Therapy Brothers podcast begin. What's up, Tyler?
What's going on, Brannon?
Not much. I have a story I want to tell, but I don't know how appropriate it is. So
I kind of want to hear it, but I'm afraid to ask now.
You might regret wanting to hear it, but
oh no, is it about me?
I went to your house for dinner last night, and the food was just phenomenal. But the food packed a punch afterwards. And my poor wife in bed, and it reminded me of when we were mowing lawns, and the worst
back in the day when we were mowing lawns.
The worst fart I've ever smelled has come out of you. We were in the van, and it's trauma I have. I need to go do some EMDR around this. It smelled so bad. And I turned with water in my eyes to you, and I said, please don't do that again. And you did it again. And I said, you know what? Next time, instead of doing that to me, punch me in the face as hard as you possibly can. Because I can't take it.
Instead of that, I don't.
Whoa!
I can't confirm that I remember that story.
Holy cow! Oh, I can.
It was more traumatizing for you than it was for me.
Oh yeah, you were having a great time.
What's funny is that it makes it even better. Like if our listeners know that, like, we did this lawn care business, and it was in the summertime, and we're driving this massive, like 15 passenger white van with rust spots all over. We call it the Great White, and there was like no AC in it. That didn't work at all. So you were stuck in the Great White in just a cloud of like summer smoke.
Oh yeah, it was hot. And you made it hotter.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. Well, let's move on from that. Please. Sorry I brought it up. All right. I got a review here. And we actually got a couple awesome reviews this week. I'm going to share one of them. It says, nailed it. You guys totally nailed it on episode 381, walking the caller through how to get curious instead of defensive, how to simultaneously have empathy and still stand in true masculinity with boundaries instead of resorting to inauthentic Mr. Nice Guy tactics or being a jerk. I appreciated your understanding and explanation of how a wife feels used and unseen and therefore unsafe when the husband is incapable or unwilling to notice or care whether or not she's a willing participant in the bedroom, and how damaging that can be. He's oblivious. It was a very validating discussion. Thanks for digging deep on this one.
That's awesome. Such good feedback. And thank you for taking the time out of your day to give such a robust review there. We really appreciate those things.
Absolutely. And what I really like about it, Tyler, is a lot of times we can get caught in the crosshairs of, we say one thing about one side of things and it can trigger, or say another thing about another side of things and it can trigger, the partner or whatever. And the reality is both you and I are just fighting for truth. We're fighting for recovery, and we want people to find healing and to find love in their relationships. And so we're not on anyone's side. We're just trying to speak truth. And I hear her like saying she heard that. And so that's awesome.
Yeah, we love that. We love your feedback. We love your reviews, the questions you send us, everything. So thank you for all of you who are listening and actually invested in being a part of this and what we're trying to do. We so appreciate it.
So speaking about what we're trying to do, Tyler, we got some pretty exciting things on the horizon here
Yeah,
here
we do.
coming up.
I was thinking, Brannon, that maybe we talk just a second. We've got a couple of announcements and some things to talk about here that are kind of new opportunities that we're trying to develop for our listeners. Um, but before we do that, I just wanted to talk with you really quickly about like what we believe actually works in actually making real change in life for just a second, because I think that'll lead into the discussion we wanted to share and have. So this episode's going to be just a little bit different than most of our episodes. We're not going to be necessarily answering a question as much as just kind of sharing some of what we think we can do to make a better difference in the world.
Well, and I
Um,
think as we announce these things, hopefully, what we're coming up with and what we're doing fits within helping people build recovery capital and move toward healing. And we want to amplify that a little bit.
yeah, we've been in the game for a really long time, and I know you feel similar things to me in Brandon. Over the years, what has it been? Almost probably a couple of almost 2 decades now that I've been at this game.
We're old men.
We we we, we are we're all the old seasoned, gray fox kind of characters in the world that we're in right now a little bit. But over those years, we've seen some things in terms of what seems to work and what doesn't seem to work in terms of helping people actually reclaim their hearts and reclaim a life that's got passion and purpose and vibrance and beauty in it. And Brandon, if I were to ask you, like, of all the experience that you've gained, if you were to pick out two or three principles of what actually helps to facilitate real and lasting change, what would those principles be?
Um, Gall, that's an awesome question. Um, the first thing that comes to mind, and what I see, the difference between somebody who stays stuck in their suffering and continues to create what they create, and somebody who shifts and finds peace and um, finds healing is really it's step 3 of the 12 steps, is turning your will and your life over to the care of God, whatever God is to you. Or even if it's not God, like finding a place of surrender, relinquishing the control and living your life in a place of faith. And when you're able to do that, then you're able to do the courageous things that you need to do to undo all of the suffering and all the things that have gotten you to this point. And this goes for both sides of the fence, for all parties involved. Um, but just it's not trying harder. It's just being a bit more willing to step in to whatever it is. That to me is one of the most important things.
Yeah, it's interesting. You said there's a difference between trying harder and willingly giving yourself over to a process. That sounds, you're still doing something when you willingly give yourself over, but you're doing it with a heart that's broken and a heart that's willing. I think that key word of willing is really important. And then
And
I would add one.
there's an element
Yeah.
of humility to that.
Yeah, willingness is the twin sister of humility. They go
Yeah,
with each other. So humility
right.
to me is maybe one of the biggest principles in recovery. And humility is an acknowledgement of everything I'm good at and everything that I'm not so good at, and a willingness to then go to work on those things that I need to change. Wholeheartedly surrender. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
And then the second principle that I think over all of the years and of everything we've done, all the tools we've taught, all the theories we've learned, everything else, it always seems to boil back down in addition to what you were saying with step three. And I think this is a part of step three actually, when it's done authentically, is the opportunity for an emotionally corrective experience.
Yeah.
When when there's actually an experience that elicits a new way of feeling or seeing about myself, the world, one of my beliefs, that facilitates more often than anything else the actual willingness then to make the changes necessary to live a different life.
Yep.
And so
Yep.
that emotionally corrective experience becomes vitally important.
Yeah, and Tyler, it's interesting for you and I think I've seen us both shift in when we first got into this. I thought I was helping people heal their head. Talking them out of things, telling them like really heady tools and principles and things. And some of those head tools are important. Don't get me wrong. Um, but that doesn't really lead to healing. And um, what I found is it's a really interesting paradox to it is if I if I lead people to those type of experiences that you're talking about, and then I get out of the way, then some deep, real healing takes place. Um, and that are those major shifts that happen in a person's life that can then lead to some long term, real change in their life. Um, and so, yeah, I'm not a head healer. I'm more of a facilitator to help people heal their soul, which is experiential in nature.
That's beautifully said, Brannon. This weekend, you and I received a gift from one of our really, really good friends that he'd put a lot of time and effort and energy into to offering us these gifts. He handcrafted a bolo tie for each of us, and he put a whole bunch of symbolism into that. And one of the pieces of symbolism that he put on my bolo tie was a piece of stone called agate. And I went and looked up the meaning of agate, and I think he nailed it for what we really are going for in the work that we're trying to do. That agate is the properties of that stone are associated with emotional healing to heart, mind, and spirit.
Yeah.
And that's man, when I read that description, I was like, that's the essence of what we're going for, even more so than just giving a bunch of education. The education is a part of that overall goal of emotional healing to heart, mind, and spirit.
Tyler, it's like as we talk, people don't fully understand what we're talking about. And, over the years, sitting there watching sunrises, rappelling down mountains, doing breath work to the point where you don't know if you can keep going or not. Your body is completely exhausted. Um, Even plant medicine journey, like these type of things, are that they get to your soul. They awaken you. And if you're just trying to pay a therapist money to talk your problems out, you'll be talking for a long, long time. And so it takes both.
Exactly. And that's
Um,
that's the reason I wanted to bring this up, is because I want our listeners to understand that these announcements that we're going to be making today and the things we're going to be talking about are based off of this experience that you and I have had.
Absolutely. So let's get into some of the bare bones of the announcement, if you don't mind, Tyler.
Yep.
So drum roll, here we go. We are launching a new a new thing. I don't want to say a new show because it's still the Therapy Brothers show. But we are going to be live on YouTube, filming and recording our show. And it will be our first show is November 18th at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. You need to go subscribe. So go look us up, Therapy Brothers, on YouTube. Go and subscribe there, and you can actually be a part of the show. You can make comments. Um, you can make comments to the side as me and Tyler are talking. You can also leave a comment. Um, you can vote for Team Tyler or Team Brannon. I would appreciate your vote on who you're resonating with and who you think is really being helpful with the guest. You can empathize with the guests. You can leave some love there, and you can learn and grow yourself as you watch the process unfold live on YouTube as we work with our guests.
One of the reasons we wanted to do this is because of what we were just talking about. We wanted it to be as interactive as we possibly can make it for those who want to be involved in some ways. And so we will still post the episodes to the normal places. All of the other podcast platforms will still get the episodes as they've always gotten them. But if you wanted to come and actually be a part of it live as it's happening, that's what will be happening. It'll be happening on Mondays and Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. And you'll be able to come and post your comments as it's happening in live time. It might even influence something that Brandon or I might say, or remind us of a certain thing that we want to share to the listener that's there. And hopefully you'll have a chance to be having a little bit more of an actual experience in addition to the listening that you get to do when you just listen to the show.
Tyler, here's an offer for him. So if you come and if you subscribe and if you leave a comment, I will put your name in a drawing, and I will give you a free assessment one-on-one with me, to assess what's going on in your life and to give you some guidance on your recovery. So, but you got
You're
to
doing a
subscribe.
drawing for anyone who
You're gonna do a
subscribes
drawing
whenever
between,
this launches
mhm,
and the 18th.
and then leaves a comment on the 18th. So if you want to be in that drawing, subscribe and comment, and I will meet with you one-on-one for free. I'll
You'll do
take
a
an hour,
drawing.
and I'll do a drawing, and I'll pick somebody, and I'll take an hour of my time and meet with you one-on-one, to discuss what's going on with you. So, love to
That's
have you
awesome.
over there. Yeah.
Yeah, way to go. The 18th, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. We'll see how it goes. It'll be really our kind of our first real one of trying this out. It's new for us too. It's kind of exciting. It's feels like it's going to stretch us a little bit to have to try to navigate the live part of that as well, but that'll be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. And this doesn't mean that all our other stuff is going away. So you can still get on Apple, Spotify, wherever the podcast is. Um, the show will be there. So, but we would love to have you over on YouTube.
Yep. Awesome, Brandon. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Um, all right. So should we talk about the next like really awesome thing?
Yeah,
We're not done yet.
No, we're not done yet. We've actually been spending a lot of time on this next thing, and I think we're finally there to kind of give it to the people who have been with us for so long and are listening now.
Yeah. Um, so we have a full scale platform and community and program to help people um, do exactly what we were talking about earlier, to help people have those experiences to heal on the deepest levels. Um, and we walk you through it. We provide you the support, and we actually help you build community so that you can heal your trauma. And when we talk about sex addiction, betrayal trauma, is this for one, sex addiction or betrayal trauma, Tyler?
It's for both, and it's towards wholehearted living.
Yeah. So, in other words, if you go do this work, then navigating the waters of sex addiction or betrayal trauma will be so much better because you're dealing with the deeper stuff underneath. So then you can go step forward and really be a powerful human being in the recovery process.
That's right. So the platform is titled Reclaim Your Heart, and the website is actually reclaimyourheart.org. And on that website, there's, as Brandon said, there's a platform. It's been pretty cool to see this already. We've kind of been beta testing it a little bit, and we've got some of the people that already work with us on there. And it's been really cool to see that this community is already starting to form where people who are like-minded, working towards the right kind of healing, are now getting together, and they're able to find one another who are close, and they're going on hikes together. They're going to dinner together. They're working
Pole
on
plunging together.
Yeah, they're doing all sorts of cool activities that are geared towards good health with one another. There's also space to provide comments, to ask questions, and it's structured in such a way so that you can come and just be a part of it at a certain level for free and be involved in some of those things. And then if you want a little bit more structure, there's a way to be a part of a premium membership. And then if you really want the full thing, then you can also end up joining a group that is run through either Brannon or my practice. And the best part of it to me is what we've actually designed, and it's the kind of the bellwether course that we've designed. I'd call it a curriculum because it's not just a course of like schoolwork. It's more of like a series of principles and challenges for people to walk through systematically towards the healing of their heart. And we call it the Reclaim Your Heart from Shame and Trauma course.
Yes. And I, you know, Tyler, I think it's taken a while for us to really talk about this on the podcast. And one of the reasons is I just wanted to test it out. I wanted to see, and just if we're onto something. And through the process, you know, we follow the hero's journey, and I've watched people in the hardest of times, and I've watched people in the best of times. But I've watched people take the journey, and my two groups are wrapping up the end of this year.
You've been running it for almost a year. So we basically developed this course a year ago, and then we've been running it through some of our own clients, just testing it out to make sure it is what we think it is.
Yeah, these are the people who like did the full enchilada, so to speak. They got the content, they did the group work, they meet with me weekly, and it's just incredible to see the changes. Just this past couple weeks, I've had them reassessing their lives and just taking a look at what's shifted, and almost all of them are just like, yeah, everything's better. Everything's so much different. I just feel so much more peace. I know myself. I understand who I am. I've been given answers that I never thought that I would get. You know, and as hard things come, I've been able to just navigate that and find gratitude. And so, like, yeah, it's blown me away at how awesome it has been. So, come be a part of the community, or come, you know, take the full enchilada. Whatever you want to do. And Tyler and I, we each run the group portion of it. And Tyler and I are not offended if you want to go work with one or the other. In fact, I refer people to Tyler all the time because he's incredible. So we don't care. You know, if you want to just come and take the course and have it be self-directed, you can do that as well.
You can do it that way too. Yep. So you can kind of get as much or as little structure and support as you're feeling like you want. The goal is to provide some structure and some support and some direction, and then provide opportunities for some of those emotionally corrective experiences. That's the whole goal of what we wanted to do here. And Brandon, I'll just echo what you said. I've been running several groups now on this curriculum for the last close to a year as well. And it's not just one instance, but I'm getting comments like just this last week, one of my men came into group and he shared part of his experience of an assignment that's down in what we call the cave section of the course. And he came back and he was just like, he couldn't even find the words for it, but he said, something has shifted in me. Something is new in me. Something feels better in me. He's like, he couldn't even put words to it, but he's like, I feel something different now. That kind of stuff, where I have other people come back after like doing one of the other challenges and going, man, I didn't realize I could do something that was so difficult. And I feel so good about having accomplished that. And it's actually really grown my confidence in myself. And then the cool thing is that when they share their experiences with each other, just the sharing itself is its own emotionally corrective experience too. And so it's this beautiful sort of community that could be built that will actually support the right kind of growth into the right kind of life, even though we have a whole world around us that's fueling the other messages of shame and fear and doubt. And it's been really, really, really powerful. I'm really excited about it.
There's people listening and they're probably thinking like, oh, that sounds awesome, but I'm scared. Um,
Yes,
and the truth is that it's challenging. It takes courage. Some of the things we ask you to do are hard. But the other thing I would ask you is, how long do you want to stay stuck? How long do you want to stay creating what you're creating or being miserable? And there are absolutely answers, and there's a process and a way for you to heal. And if Tyler and I feel like we've cracked the code a little on that, and so we want you to join us. And the other part, Tyler, like that you talked about, is we give you this process, this journey, we give you this support, um, but there's something else happening as well, which is that community piece of it. You get to know people, you make friends, you get support.
make some
Um,
connection. You
it's
get some
awesome.
mentoring, even if it's not through necessarily a therapist all the time. You can start to get some mentoring from people who are also committed to the same kinds of principles and who might be a little bit further down the path.
Yep.
Um, that's what I think. That's what I like about it the most is that it's not just you and I that are doing this thing. It's the curriculum that when you take it and you pair it with the right kind of connection, wherever you get that connection, structure, support, empathy, that's the magic that happens. It doesn't have to be just specifically with like one therapist or something. It's
Exactly.
it's based off of principle.
Yep. And the process is laid out for you. So it's not about the specific therapist or whatever. Um, so it's exciting, and we do weekly Q&As. Tyler and I do. So if you're struggling with a part of it, or you just need a little support, we're there for you once a week. Um, and we also post other content as well that's just inspiring and helpful. So yeah, reclaimyourheart.org is where you can find it. So Tyler, should we summarize some of the stuff we've talked about so far?
Yeah, just kind of bring it all together succinctly. So, first thing, continue to just listen to the podcast. However you listen to it, it will be there for you. That's not going to change. If you want to be a little bit more involved in the podcast, we are doing live shows starting November 18th, Mondays and Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Mountain Time on YouTube with the Therapy Brothers. And that's the first kind of announcement.
Yes.
Second announcement is come be a part, join the platform, come see what's there for you.
Reclaim your heart.
Reclaimyourheart.org. And you can come and join the free community. You can purchase the curriculum. You can upgrade to a premium level on the platform, or you can join a group depending on how much or little you want that stuff, that structure and support.
Yes. We'd love to have you. Tyler, from what I've seen, we attract in some pretty incredible people into our community. So we'd love you to be a part of it as well.
Amen.
All right, you guys, I guess that's it for today. Um, we really appreciate you. We appreciate you listening. And if this resonates with you, that's awesome. If you're thinking about somebody else that this could benefit, please share it with them and share all the information that we've shared today with them as well. And until next time, keep on keeping on.